and had, after Ceres, her whistling managed to get her attracted away by the guards and nearby priests who decided, Ceres, perhaps it's time you have that interview regarding your lack of license.
There's nothing to see here.
I mean, there was nothing to worry about, but let's just say Ceres didn't come back for a while and then basically just wanted to nap.
Getting bureaucrats. Even though she is one.
Meanwhile, though, the largest possible collection of guards was found around the back of the manor house. More and more being constantly summoned to Sir Isaac. While Vicus, with the help of a small invisibility potion and Amonis skillfully directing the guards through intimidation, absconded with the young Duke to try and find out why he was being kept stashed away.
We unkidnapped him.
It's no kidnapping, well, it's a security mission. Get your facts right, just as my master.
I mean, he voluntarily left with you, so probably not
Yes.
kidnapping, but...
As a spy master, I shouldn't be getting my facts right. That's the point.
No.
Touché.
As you discovered, and very much confirming some of the intel you had gotten, despite his age, the young Duke does seem to have a far better grasp of what's going on in his realm than perhaps most around him would expect. Though, he's clearly still young and out of his depth a little bit when it comes to the force scale of everything going on. It does appear, though, at least someone in his court has been attempting to try and, well, oust him on the behalf of the Imperial Court. Not particularly a great circumstance, necessarily. But beyond that, the group also decided to track down some leads. Oh, we lost someone. Who did I lose?
Isaac. He said he'll come back.
Okay.
All right.
The group decided to track down some other leads, which eventually, through one way or another, led to tracking down and discovering Viscount Basque negotiating and speaking with the mysterious assassin. Turns out, he and the assassin had a bit of a falling through, and you rescued Viscount Basque from being assassinated himself. And have now basically threatened to reveal everything if he doesn't voluntarily go into house arrest and give up his titles. And clean. Putting you in an interesting position as the group, well, regroups back at the little guest house you've been given. Sitting down for a nice bit of lunch, as you consider over the fact that one of your main obstacles, the Viscount, has been sort of removed. Meaning there isn't... The Empire's main agent pushing against you is no longer necessarily in the way. At least, he won't be once Makaro comes to whisk him away. Gotta love teleportation, right?
Yep.
But yeah. As I left in chat, very much your situation at the moment, but I will recap it, so it's also for the viewers as well. You have achieved a rather large support from individuals from both in Valencia and outside of it. And with the Viscount Basque's influence removed, honestly, you're pretty secure in that this, one way or another, the Alliance is going to go your way. The only question is the exact details of, well, how exactly is this deal going to fall, especially in regards to the Duchy of Bassica? But only way to find that out will be for all of you to discuss and figure out what your plan is going forward here. You don't really need to do much now. In theory, you could just sit by and you'll still get a outcome that's on your favor. Obviously, you probably want to twist it one way or another. Lunch today also being served is a rather light lunch. Fine sandwiches, like a small little snack, like British tea lunch sort of thing, being served by the staff here. Except for Isaac, who presumably has caught himself another fish.
That sounds about right.
There we go. Sarah's having also finally woken up from her very long nap.
Fine.
Well, as detailed in chat, we I need to look up. Oops. Up.
Let me know if there's anything you would like me to put on the map to illustrate for you or anything.
No, I was waiting for it to load in first. I think I think keeping to the deal with the Duchess is the fairest way to go. Gives the deal with her. You know, the freedoms, the heft that it requires, shows that we are trustworthy allies, and yeah, we don't go back on our word really, and that seems important. Kid, I mean, yeah, the kid is nice, kind of adorable, sort of weird, precocious way, but he's just a kid. Can't. I mean, as in good conscience feels he cannot sacrifice, you know, a whole part of his military strategy for just a child. But keeping him as a ward, well, you know, give him 10 years under some tutelage and training at the court, and he can come back and be a pretty good leader.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. While the Duchess is eventually going to be a threat to us, I don't think we're in a position now to fuck her over immediately and be able to deal with both her and the Empire at the same time.
He,
We need her to take the brunt, right, at the moment, but that's not to say that we can't offer the Lord some like amnesty that he then himself later on can stake his claim from himself. I mean, we can support him and all, but like at that point, then maybe he'd be in a better position. But that would basically be like, I assume then we'd have to basically abscond with him even further, because if he shows himself and we take him, then they can probably delegitimize the fact that he has a claim. But if they don't know where he's gone, then I'm not sure how that works exactly. But
yeah, I mean, we could negotiate like we could just impress upon the Duchess that, well, I mean, you know, the best way for control to be maintained here is to have the kid rule with some, you know, advisors in place. Maybe we can do a joint council or something. Some of her representatives, some of ours. Depends on what she wants, I suppose. Does she want it just for the... I get the feeling that she wants it for the coast, as we pointed out, of course, but also just as a sort of a fuck you to the rest of the Empire. If she just wants it for a fuck you, then, I mean, be fine. Like she doesn't care too much, about it really. She just wants the fuck you to be delivered. Probably too.
Oh, sounds like we need to talk to her then.
Might need to relaunch the founder here. I think I am stuck.
Very well.
Yeah, what do you guys think we should do? I know Sheep, you're more on the help the kid outside.
I mean, I'm not. I think the best way for us would be to honor the deal. I just wanted to present that there are alternatives. Maybe it wouldn't be the worst to help the kid out, even long term. The question is, of course, whether you value a reputation for keeping a deal or a reputation for doing the right thing. And I think Amonis is probably more the former than the latter.
Yeah.
And there's also the thought that, Ruler being displaced by his family might be a bit of a parallel. Maybe there's some personal motivation for Amonis to treat it differently. But overall, I can be happy with any decision, really.
Yeah, I
All
would
these-
go more honoring the deal and being on the good side of the Duchess.
It would be nice to have a flank that we don't need to worry about getting attacked from.
I mean, that alone sounds like the group is strongly narrowing down which choices, given it doesn't sound like you're going for any of the options that would betray the Duchess.
No, I don't think
No,
we're.
we don't really have the power to do that, really.
I don't really have the
And it doesn't-
reason to either. She has been a steady ally.
And it also doesn't seem like that you plan to simply do nothing. So it's a case of, do you plan to simply have Bassica turned over to her, or are you going to try and negotiate something on that? Obviously, you can just basically try to force it through that. No, she gets exactly what you wanted and exactly what you agreed on. That's definitely that's definitely an option on the table. If that's the route you want to go. Straightforward, keeping your word 100% to it.
Yeah, I mean,
Anime's been a bit quiet, but
Nah, I'm in agreement here that we should keep to our word. I don't, as much as the idea of land grabbing is nice. I think we gain more by making the Duchess happy with our long-term decisions than the short/long-term gain that we get from the land.
right. Yeah, because like the options for the Duke would be like, yes, we could support him, but that'll piss everyone off. If we try and get him to swear to us, or otherwise he will just swear to the Empire, which is not great.
he wouldn't be as cooperative as the Empire having their puppet in there. But
Yeah, but then if, like the Empire's just gonna be pissed at that and just gonna eventually just get rid of him anyway. Like that's what they have no issue with getting rid of him now. It's not like they're gonna wait on that.
a valid point.
I'm all for maybe like honoring the deal, but maybe give the Duke an opportunity to make a decision on whether or not he wants to be in a situation where he will not be able to have any power, or take a chance with coming back with us for a while, get a bit older, more experience, and then he still has his claim by his birthright, so he'll always have that. But if he goes now, he won't have any power to do anything with. And honestly, he might not last very long in that position either. So that's my thinking on it. At least.
Yeah. And certainly give him the opportunity to become a ward at Sorakai. He will not have to renounce any claims or anything. We just take him with us. We can arrange study trips and whatnot. But he is in a position where we cannot help him directly. Our only other option would be to negotiate some sort of joint rulership council thing with the Duchess. We send like a few people from our court there to help him run things. But I don't know how viable that is.
Yeah, I mean, at the very moment, nobody knows that we have him. So if we give him the option, we could certainly harbor him indirectly.
Oh yeah, clandestinely. We could just take him with us.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying like we state we are, but we support him like without people knowing, and then when he has the years and experience.
I mean, even if you want to clandestinely take him away, there is from what you understand of the Duchess's rulership style, there's a good chance that if she takes control, she'll be removing him from his seat anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Like he doesn't have much
So
choice.
if he vanished now, what would happen?
If he just disappeared right now, chances there would be a brief power vacuum put in place where, well, it's not entirely clear. But in that power vacuum, it's possible that the Duchess could do a power grab and just take it then and there for herself.
Yeah.
Assuming you helped push the final opinion over the line for that, which probably won't be too hard.
No, and we can support him, and we can support her in the power vacuum without really letting her know that we have a claimant to the throne with us, right? I mean, I don't 100% fully trust her,
No.
but at the same time, we should honor what we deal with her.
Yes.
She also may not fully care either way. But
Yeah, exactly.
I don't fully trust her either, but she has not betrayed us, and that's important. The moment she does, all hell will break loose.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, having a contingency and having the Duke with us.
If she does, we have the power now to just teleport to her and just walk into her palace and start murdering our way through. Like she can't.
I don't know.
I mean, it is a true fact from the Highlands to Silverswift, you totally have enough teleportation to be able to just like show up outside her palace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Storm it. So I mean, that terror balance is always there to keep her sort of on her toes a little bit.
She can do the same in reverse, but
Yeah,
she can show up in a weird dragon form and start burning things. But at that point, I don't think we should be the first to betray.
No, of course not.
Leave that to the sneaky half dragon Duchess.
Yeah, but I don't mean not telling her out of the seat. I mean we can tell her if we want, but
yeah. So
if he even accepts it, he might just be like, no. It depends on how convincing we are. Yeah.
But it sounds like the angle you're going to go for here then is very much a straight honouring of the deal with the Duchess.
Yeah.
Okay. That is something you're certainly poised to do. You have pretty much enough votes lying around for it. And you are in a position where you can create enough of a power vacuum that, well, Bassica's rulership is put up to question.
Yeah.
Is that what the group wants to lock in then?
I think that's the most viable, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
You've done more than enough negotiation at this point that you're not going to need to play through the extra day and a half you have left over. You've got enough points that you can just confirm this.
All right.
So be it.
Do it.
Which means we time skip for the next several days. If there's anything any of you would need to do here, any shopping you will still want to do, that's something on the table. But otherwise, the clock will begin to move forward as you just let the negotiations play out.
I would like to do some shopping, and I would like to talk Eve in private.
Very well. Which would you like to start with, the shopping or the e?
Let me do shopping. Let me give you a list. Where is my list? I should have enough for all of this.
Just going to move everyone properly to the world map for this, though, because
Where are
it'll be important.
There we go. Discount both the average cost of scrolls and the gold used to train, or write it down on my dubious spellbook. But it is mainly level 1, 2, and 3 spells. Oh, it's missing the cantrips.
It's a lot of stuff you want to learn.
I need more stuff, more dubious stuff. Yeah. But yeah, it is from cantrips to level 3. And I do have the gold for it.
You can really learn all that for that cheap.
Yeah, I think so. It is based on the spell level, as I looked into it. And of course, it goes higher per spell level.
Yeah,
But-
buying the spells is cheaper than learning them quickly is what starts to get really pricey.
Yeah,
I suppose it is only 12 gold for a level 3 scroll. So
Yeah.
yeah,
it's-
like this is also learning them over time, not
Goal is-
quickly.
yeah.
Gold is way more valuable in Pathfinder compared to D&D.
Yeah.
So yeah, scrolls are not that pricey.
well,
Has the Cape of the Mountebank just been deleted from remaster?
What? Yeah, with the
The
mountebank?
Cape of the Mountebank. Yeah.
It's probably renamed. Because it
It
was
says
a
legacy
D&D item.
content when I look it up, so
Yeah.
I don't think it's
It might be
renamed.
removed.
I don't know.
It's uncommon anyway, so it doesn't.
Well, there might be uncommon things here.
but yes, if you want to buy all of those are possible to get over the next several days.
Yes, I would at least want to buy all the scrolls that I have bought them. We can talk about learning the process later on.
That's a whole different issue.
Yes.
I suppose as everyone will see your lovely vampire return back with essentially so many scroll cases. It's like the scene in Harry Potter with the one shop, the entire wall of scroll cases.
How much platinum? That's 15.
Yes,
Well,
nice.
most of the scrolls will go into bag of holding.
Yeah, but that's less visually interesting.
Yes, but there are gonna be a lot of scrolls. Yeah, 59 and
As you just spent a small fortune.
there we go.
What level of stuff do we have access to?
In here, higher level of stuff than
Yeah,
usual.
like there's some fairly high level stuff here in Valencia. But I think the item cap level is level 13.
Okay.
Though with scrolls it can vary slightly. But
Okay.
also just for everyone's reference, the Archives of Nephith now has remastered content on it.
Indeed.
Oh, that's good. I shall just mark on my nose that I have all those spells bought. But not gonna go, add them one by one because
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna go into the spellbook at some point. So
And you said you wanted to speak with Eve before time progresses too fast.
yes, at some point it would be lovely to speak with Eve.
You can grab a short moment with her in the preceding days. pull her to the side during some business meeting.
Sure. That's wonderful. Hello, Eve. It is as lovely as always to see you.
Don't you mean Viscountess Eve?
Congratulations.
Seems odd. I've got another promotion so quickly.
I think not. But I guess I should do things in correct order. First, congratulations for your promotion. Secondly, could I get my ring back?
Oh, this silly thing. She'll remove the ring and hand it back to you.
Wonderful.
Don't exactly need it now, anyway.
Yeah, well, I do. So I am thankful for you returning it. So, how do I want to put this? Well, let me just take the cat out of the bag. I think that is the best solution for this. I will apologize for tricking you, possibly, in certain bits, which have, enhanced your capabilities of gaining this position and your court position regarding those scribed notes.
She raises an eyebrow at you.
I have this certain feeling of I'm lying to you more than tricking you, and I do not want to do that. So, to tell you the truth, most of those notes that you have seen by scrying, that you have allowed to see by me, at least when you have scried upon me, is coded, forged by Spymaster, our Spymaster. And most of it it's manipulated for you to see what we want you to see.
Why are you telling me?
Because, first of all, I don't like lying. Secondly, telling you, I'm also informing you that we are gonna change those codes. But if you wanna, break our old codes, you can. I may get benefit from the Empire. And because you are currently in a position of opportunities and jealousy. You can stay with the Empire, you can stay with the Dutch, go with the Duchess, you can go after the Duchy. And I simply feel bad.
Well, there's nothing to feel bad about. Don't worry. I forgive your deception.
Well, that's good.
I've gained more out of this than I thought I would. It's been great.
Yes, same. But just for your note, in the future, we are gonna change the manipulated codes to something else. So try to learn that. No more hints about that.
If you say so.
Oh, I think we have already done so.
Real shame that you're going to be leaving soon again.
Well, the Orkland calls. And somehow I need to name a street. But we shall see when things calm down. Get yourself killed if war breaks out.
Eve is going to put herself a little closer to you for the moment, as you're kind of hidden behind the wall where you are. Just don't, just don't forget. It's more than just a deal we've got. Well, we've shared a few moments now, haven't we?
Sure.
Eve is actually going to go in to try to peck a little kiss off your cheek.
Sure, I will answer to that. No. Where it goes, but Seal has got anything out of her mind, at least for the moment.
That's fine. Eve seems very amused. The grand game ever getting more interesting.
Yeah, well.
As after all, the two of you are essentially playing the largest possible game of chess, with the kingdom being its board.
No, I'm playing checkers. Most certainly. Checkers is my game.
You're playing two very different games of each other.
Yes, it is.
The next several days pass then, with relative ease. At this point, it's more formalities. Ceres sitting down, being polite, toasting some drinks to some people, knowing fully what's about to happen. As we set the stage, looking out from the Blue Palace, as the Duchess stands there with the Councillor for Valencia. And the words are spoken by both parties, making one formal announcement. The Council of the Free Republic of Valencia hereby dissolve their official constitution and swear fealty to the Grand Duchess of Silverswift, who also in turn, with her own announcement, makes the other declaration you've been expecting. Her formal resignation from the Empire.
Fun to see.
Which, for all the common folk, essentially just sends shocks and murmurs through the crowd. But, I mean, you knew this was coming. And, to a sense, the Empire knew what was coming. Some things are about to change on the board, so let's go through, because I'll need to put the map here for us.
Yeah.
The first thing is the Duchess she needs her own colour now. Let's see if I can get the board. That looks like a land of great colour.
Yeah.
It's a nice fuchsia.
Pink, the most treacherous of colors.
Isn't that more like a magenta?
Perhaps.
Or is it mauve?
And perhaps with disappointment as the no longer young dude, simply young Master Finian Ran watches the announcement.
Did he take us up on our offer to come with us, or what's his plan?
He has, if nothing else, because he really does not have anywhere else to go.
Yeah.
Don't worry, my boy. The internship at our court is going to be very, very interesting experience for you. In a decade or so, return. They claim to your birthright. Serve well, and we might even help you.
Per the own agreements, he does cede you control of the Red Rock Valley.
Yahoo!
Meaning, of course, you also now have you'll have to decide if you plan to let him keep his title, but Lord Ike, of course, comes with that.
Good Lord Ike.
Nice.
Also, the bishopry of Alric also is turned over to you.
Alright.
And though the Duchess makes a point of heartbrokenness for it,
Yes.
Melrock is.
Not bad.
Oh god, we're gonna have to so much unrest to manage.
It's an outrage.
Different.
Don't worry. The festivities. You know.
Yeah, don't worry, children.
Parties
Bread and
forever.
games.
Bread and
Bread
games.
and
Release the
games.
bird.
Oh my god.
Release the 10,000.
Yes. Proceed with
We
the
have-
new.
We have been waiting for this day.
Hooray!
A new order arises.
Yes. Give me.
Yes.
We need some form of medical technology where I can project my image above all cities of our domain.
That is actually not that is not too difficult to.
Just be like, and I can do the Palpatine speech.
Yes.
I did find something I want to buy, but I'll run it past you first. Dark, is that available to buy? It basically gives me the telepathy I had before.
What's this?
It's an Aeon Stone type.
Which Aeon Stone? There are many.
I posted in chat. I think you.
Aeon Stone Envisioning.
I don't know. This cube allows you to communicate in a limited form of telepathy within 100 feet. The messages are transmitted each round. The quality is that of a hastily done childish sketch.
Yep. It's something.
If you would like to mentally doodle people, I think you might be able to find one. Yes.
All right, great. Buy that.
There is a slightly unexpected development that occurs over the next couple of days, however. And there's one more adjustment to this map I need to make.
Well, is my call of how this plans out going to actually happen? Because I made a prediction before we moved to Pathfinder 2nd Edition
Uh-huh.
Oh,
about how all of this was going to happen.
Uh-huh.
So I'm curious. How it plays out.
I mean, would you like to recall what your prediction was for everyone else? 'Cause they don't know.
So my prediction was that the Empire is going to fracture now. Now that the Duchess has declared independence, land grabbed huge portion of the Empire in the process, including giving us pieces of land. The other dukes are now going to look at the crown and see weakness. So there's going to be one or two options: a vie for power, where all-out civil war breaks out, or dukes declaring their own independence.
Basically
Oh,
basically the realm divided scenario from Shogun Total War.
Yes, exactly.
And as it turns out, as it stands, that is really what for the next coming week.
Oh dear, Sister Dearest is in trouble.
As various factions begin to take form.
Yes, divide and conquer.
Oh, interesting.
As it turns out, her hold was tentative and, well, over the next coming weeks, one of the things that occurs is quite quick and quite strict. As the Duchess imposes massive trade restrictions, essentially plummeting a lot of the empire into a sudden economic crisis. massive recession essentially across the entire empire, hitting everyone, yourselves included, in a storm as everyone tries to figure out what's just happened.
Damn it. We didn't manage to recruit our chief economist. Master of stonks. He could have.
If only you had him to know what was about to happen.
I know. He could
We
have
don't
said
need
this.
him.
We can invite him.
We've got a halfling with an owl. Who needs?
But stonks. Think of the money.
I mean, Ceres will think of the money when she's taking off his cold, dead corpse.
Wow. Such hatred for a man who only wants us well.
Does he?
Yeah. Yes, he does. He has his own street in Sorbet.
Yes, he does.
The administrator will make sure of that, and he sent a notice about that.
Yes,
Behind the orphanage.
Yeah, here is your new map of the empire.
Okay, so one.
Very colourful.
Ah, I see what he. Yes.
As Eve splits off from both Bassica and from the empire.
Yeah, not surprised about that.
Clan Darkhold declares its own independence on the eastern coast of the empire.
Oh.
And to the south, many of the lands previously taken as part of the Elven conquests are now, well, under civil war.
Hmm. So all of these purple ones are dwarves now, like surging out of the mountain.
More Clan Darkhold has become the de facto capital of that area now,
Okay.
with the dwarves contending control of it all.
Interesting. Alright. Alright.
Putting everything in a bit of an interesting position.
Yes.
It is well, the smallest the empire's ever looked in generations, to be sure.
Oh, for sure. Has lost a good half of its territories.
As only the core provinces are fully holding on, as very much what you've let occur has been perhaps the largest internal event for the empire in, well, living memory.
Yes.
As you arrive back in your own home ports, everyone is full of confusion. There's chaos. Though thankfully none of like the worst of it hasn't really hit your heartlands, minus the fact that a lot of traders are apparently now having trouble getting hold of certain things.
Sure.
But yeah, as you sail back and just kind of watch over the coming days as you get reports in of various other places declaring independence, it's not entirely clear what the Empire's going to do about this at this point. Though your court certainly might have some opinions of their own. I'm going to pull up my calendar. Just advance a bit of time.
I'm also going to send that to the Barnswell as a part of the notice about history.
You can indeed make the Barnsworth estate if that's what you're looking for.
No, I'm sending him a ceremonial medal with the royal text of "Be the change you want to be in the world."
Oh God, you'll hate
Since
it.
Amaranth wanted that to be a thing.
Yeah. And then
It is now it is a ceremonial medal, not a coin, but you know.
we will invite him to the naming ceremony, of course.
Yeah. There's a symbol of like a Ashen Phoenix.
Yes.
Most of the month has been eaten up by the summit. Not a huge surprise. you kind of return back.
Yep.
Everything's a little unsteady at the moment, and your own people are sort of confused what's going on. Though, you are, well, at least, if nothing else, welcome back with a small military parade for your own grand returns.
That's right. Teleport to Sorbet to be able to have a parade from Sorbet back to Sorkai.
I mean, Sorbet is where you dock. That's where your ship will
Well,
show
we
up
just,
from.
we just, yeah, we just sailed there.
Oh, fine.
Everyone is very much waiting for you as you get back, especially with the news announcements that suddenly you've gained 3 new provinces.
We need
Yeah.
to put together a tour of the realm.
Yeah, we need to sort out what is going on there immediately.
Yes, there are some immediate questions for you all to consider. Firstly, when it comes to your new provinces, the Eldom of Melrock is without holder. She took back her vassal. She gave you the land, but not the people in it necessarily.
Right.
Well, not her own court from in there. So currently it's unlanded, meaning it's under your direct control unless you want to gift it to someone as their land.
Well,
And of course, the other 2 options, other 2 areas you need to look at is Red Rock Valley. You've got Lord Ike, who, you can accept his oath of fealty or not.
I like Lord Ike. He's a bro.
And the Lord Bishop of Alren.
Yeah, I've never heard of him, really.
You didn't really interact with him at all there.
No.
But it's up to you if you plan to try and strip his title and overthrow the church's control of the region.
We'll go and have a talk to him. Little talk.
As it stands, they'll both make their way towards Sorkai as, well, they have no choice here but try to offer an oath of fealty.
Yes.
If you accept it, I execute them on the spot. It's a different issue, but
Depends on what to say, I suppose.
yeah. But that's something for the group to consider of what to do with those 3 new realms. If you want to keep them, give them to someone in particular as a reward, give them to yourselves as a reward. It's an outside a reason.
I mean, I have a suggestion regarding to Eldom.
Okay.
We could, of course, give it, to the Freyfrost, or we could give it to Mayor Pine, which is, kind of a strong ally also.
We could land her, certainly.
Yeah.
Going from simple merchant all the way up to countess.
Yeah, I mean that's what she was vying for. That's what she wants, right?
Yeah, and that will also give her son some, power, except being the Royal Guard. Which also, the Royal Guard having some land isn't a bad idea.
So they get like little knightly estates,
Yeah. But he's not a commander, or becoming the commander, as far as I understand.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the commander.
At least that is my...
I like it. Rochelle Pine can definitely be an earless. Is that something she is, or is it just even less
That's
earl?
countess. It's up to you how you
I
want to.
assume for the earldom, otherwise we'd have to joust the other 2 out from their roles.
Yeah, for the other 2, you can try to basically just rip control away from them.
Yeah.
There are risks from doing that, but
Well, Ike dealt with us fairly, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
yeah, I negotiated with you well. You even had a slight bromance over certain things down there.
Yeah,
So,
I feel Amanas feels good about Ike. Seems like a good man.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that if we're going to give it to Pine, then we give her the earldom of Melrock and not one of the other ones.
Oh,
which
yeah,
means
yeah.
we'll
No,
have
no,
to
she
remove
can-
who's there. Yeah.
She can have the earldom. It's like it's a small, good, like little starter province where she can try her stuff out.
Yeah. I mean, it's close to us as well, so
Yes.
it's good.
if you get any ideas, I'm right across this mountain range.
Yeah, pretty much.
There is a tunnel.
And I mean, and she's close to like Arlen, not too far away. So
Yeah, but there's also
Fine,
like
fine.
since like that area is very merchant focused with the Duchess, having her someone who's decently good with motion as she is pretty good for us, I
Yeah, I
think.
think so.
I think so. Done.
I'm happy with that idea.
I have been convinced.
Let's see.
Okay. Interesting.
But yeah, that sounds good.
That totally sounds like a valid plan. Okay. Just realised one of my maps is broken. That's fine, I'll fix it. Because I can do this live later.
Yeah.
Very well. In which case, you'll spend some time getting the preparations in place. As well, I suppose there's no major thing needed here unless you would like to make a large ceremony there of it. But otherwise, you can appoint the Dame Rochelle to be now Erles Rochelle.
Happy with that.
Okay.
What does she have to say about it?
She is very quiet initially, with this look. Perhaps with this look that, like, yes, this is what she was going for. She didn't actually expect she would get it. Like, this has gone far better than her expectations.
Mm-hmm.
She looks very humbled for once.
Oh, it's a show that if you do good work for us and you show your competency, then you get rewarded for it.
There is immediate animosity among some of the old nobles, but
Oh, what have they done for us, really?
I don't even know who they are. That's the problem with them.
I'll understand this has been Rochelle's entire thing up until now, just pissing off the old nobles.
Yep. They're gonna be dead soon anyway. Just like it's fine.
I only know a few old nobles and all of them are scald.
I just go, is that a prediction or a threat?
Who knows? Maybe I'll take them out my way out.
Okay. But she will accept the title with like she will humbly accept the title if a bit overwhelmed by it. And she will go through the full ceremony before Amnis on the throne. I imagine still with Zolzir because he doesn't seem to leave his grip.
Always.
Is that thing just glued on? Not, maybe.
I've considered getting a glove of storing for it, but it's too heavy, sadly.
Yeah.
You just add like a summoning for it, so it
Just
can
drink-
always be called.
Drink object and then put it in there.
Extra big glove.
You need a very large glove for it. But
Yeah.
very well. But yeah, she will kneel before Amnis on the throne.
Yeah.
And before everyone, I suppose, you will ordain her with the official title.
Indeed.
Out of curiosity, who would Amnis have to deliver the written portion of the proclamation? Would he personally hand that to her? Would you get? Is there a particular member of your court you would have hand that to her?
No, he will do that himself. This is a reward and title from the throne, the crown. So it seems appropriate that he will do it himself.
Understood. Again, while there are envious looks around the court, of course, no one questions it. She rises
Bring her right back.
now as a full noble in every regard, not simply a dame who purchased her time. You can't get much better than, actual landed area.
There you go.
Yeah.
Over the coming days later, slowly more vassals will begin to pour. Many of them some more the pettier nobles who you've kind of just gained through your kind of the osmosis of, oh yeah, we now own your liege's land, so you now serve us as well.
Indeed.
And they pour in to show their respect, offering small petty tributes to Amanus.
Fine.
Can't be too harsh on them. They're nobodies, effectively speaking.
Of course.
The main thing is showing the it's very much the idea of gifting of it's the thought that matters. It's the show that matters here.
Oh, it's very gracious.
Showing they're willing to bend the knee to you. All Amanus ever asked for.
Yep, pretty much. Alright.
Next to arrive would be Lord Ike. Arriving after several days. It's quite the distance from Red Rock Valley up here.
Oh, certainly.
And while he somewhat knew this was coming, it still took a bit. As the Lord Redhorn will make his way to your throne room, bringing with him a small gift from his land. As you know, of course, his land renowned for its hunting in many regards.
Indeed.
I'm bringing you this absolutely pristine and very large dire bear hide made into this beautiful rug.
Oh, that's lovely. And definitely going to be in the library, in front of a fireplace.
A nice reminder of death as you curl up with a book.
Ah,
Amanus' true pleasures in life.
exactly.
We know what Amanus prioritizes.
Oh yeah.
As he will kneel before you, waiting your judgment.
No, Amanus will simply state that in his opinion, Lord Ike has compounded himself very well during their interactions and has won the favor of Amanus. And so, if Lord Ike will swear to serve, will be, granted to keep his domain. He is presumably well loved by his people and knows the running of his lands inside and out, so removing such a competent and friendly character would be simply foolish.
Yes, friendly character.
Does it give Amanus any reason to doubt that he's a friendly character?
No, just you got it as very friendly with a slight bromance. So.
Yeah, exactly. Now we finally have somewhere to go when for the royal hunts and whatnot. If you want to go, and have. I need like a hunting lodge. You know what I mean? Like one of those like hunting castles down there.
Just to check, by hunting trip, are we talking hunting accident trips or just hunting trip?
Depends.
Okay.
Oh, please! You ever want an authentic hunting trip? Isaac's got you covered. It's gonna be a grueling exercise that will cause memories, as it should.
Yeah.
It's just Isaac himself that you're hunting.
I was kind of thinking more of a tent.
Well, that'd be unfair.
Tent and servants and dinner. Yeah.
You can get a tent if you make it yourself.
Hmm.
Do I have crafting? Can I make a tent?
You do not have crafting.
I cannot make a tent, as it turns out. Well, yeah, Lord Ike. If he doesn't give any reason to doubt, he is put in charge.
You will accept his oath, and with that, he will then join you as part of your court.
Yahoo!
He does send forth his apologies. One individual who cannot come to immediately visit you in your court, owing to his house arrest,
Oh, well.
is the Viscount Basque,
Ah,
currently situated in a small, rather cold lodge out here in Solkai.
he has a small staff, to take care of him. So he's certainly not alone in there. And every now and then, maybe he can be permitted to gaze upon my splendor at court. Forbidden to speak, of course.
Are we going to have a mandatory silence spell on him?
Yes. That'd be funny.
That is for the mystical. Secure, not administration. I will tell you that.
Another department's issue to deal with.
Yes. I think the Mikara can handle that one.
Okay.
That's good. We need some more people in the court. We had some vacancies, right?
You had some, and the court might be due for a shuffle soon. Anyway.
Yeah. Probably extended invitation to the what's her name? The mage lady. Gosh, her name slips my mind. The one who was there with us at the negotiations, one of the people.
Lady Senna.
Yes.
Yes.
Saba Devalen.
Perhaps she's looking for a job.
And also,
I mean,
also the old guy.
Yeah. Who?
I don't remember the old
Messiah?
guy.
Old man who was like, no one listens to me anymore. Harumph. What's his name?
They've all forgotten about your old friend.
Lord Zion, wasn't it?
Yeah, Lord
It
Zion.
was Old Zion, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Your old
Zion.
Lord Zion.
I think everyone almost forgot of your old friend, Hammond.
Yeah.
Oh, so busy with all the hustle and bustle,
Right.
Yep, so invitations to those two, for sure.
Something that could also be pursued here for sure. But the next individual to meet your attendant you briefly saw him, but basically didn't speak to him at all.
Oh, yeah.
Father Langeforn, the Bishop of Alren.
Oh, yes. Okay.
As the old priest heads into your throne room and will take a knee before your throne.
Good.
I see now the folly of the rest of the church's ways.
Oh, do you now, Father Lanthorn? And what folly would that be, pray tell?
Much as you have experienced yourself, the corruption that has dug and wormed its way inside. I do fear that much of the Empire has lost its way.
Nods.
If even the priests cannot be fully trusted anymore.
It is a shame, to be sure. So, Father Lanthorn, I apologize that we had not the time to speak to you when we met last. The many duties that kept pressing upon me simply did not permit me any time. I hope you forgive my neglect. He smiles towards him.
You do not need to ask for my forgiveness. He bows his head slightly. As it stands, the Silver Queen spoke greatly of you. Spent quite many hours talking to me and debating with me about your position here. And I must say her words were compelling.
I am much obliged. She and I have a long-standing alliance that has been very fruitful for both of us. I am pleased to see that you have also seen the reason. Now, please, Father Lanthorn, tell me something of your realm. I am sorry to say that I know precious little. Except, of course, this fine cider, as he takes a swig from his, secret mug.
No.
Yeah,
It's in the mug, it's fine.
he smiles slightly. Auron is an old land, though traditionally we've had little to offer to much of the lands. It was granted to full hold of the monastic order of the judge's circle, around 400 years ago. My position and much of the abbey that has built around those lands now does stem from the old order, though the monks have very much changed in time. Our duties have not. We aimed to create a bastion, a stronghold for trade, a place of security on the icy roads. Well, on the icy road towards the northern reaches. Very much one of the last major spots before you get there. My people, though, they do not have grand ambitions. They do not care for the squabbling in politics. They merely want a humble life. Much as in the Lord's creations in the first place. I do hope that, similar to my own people's hopes and the teachings we give them, that I'll be able to serve you in the same capacity that our order was first founded in being a bastion of security, though perhaps this time in face of other looming threats, as it seems.
Time to sense motive.
Yeah, same.
An outer roll?
You can all roll sense motive if you want to secretly do it. Though it feels like he's perhaps painting on the humility a bit extra, if nothing else, as part of his oathing here. Neither Amonis nor Vickers see a particular reason to doubt what he's saying. He seems honest to you. An honest old man of his word, which very much aligns with his churchly endeavors to your understanding.
Fair enough.
To CL, it's mostly the same, though there's a little something else to him, a little something extra. Though he's trying to hide it, an old zealous spark that he doesn't necessarily want to show, but it's subtly there. Though it's hard to necessarily tell where it's being directed towards. It doesn't seem like it's aimed against Amonis, but I'm not entirely sure where it is aimed at.
Sure.
So can also definitely notice, like, on his armor, though he doesn't mark them prominently, symbols that make it clear that his armor he's wearing was ex-Inquisition armor. Though it's very much been covered up with other symbols at this point.
Amonis will. Yeah, go ahead.
Would I know which of the 5 Radiant Fate he belongs to?
The judge.
Archer Father.
Yes, he would be the aspect of the father.
The judgiest member of the family.
Okay, well, Seal doesn't bring anything up at the moment.
And he remains there, near there, waiting for Amonis' response.
Amonis will look at him and say, Father Lanthorn, as you know, I am sure, we stand on the precipice of war. We have already made our moves, and we are waiting to the response of the rest of the old Imperium. I do not know what they are planning. Our hopes is that they will be drawn mostly west to tend with the Duchess. Currently, we have our own campaign of subjugation and extermination aimed at the Orcish threat to our east. What I am asking is what your realm can do to aid us in these efforts. Surely you are more than just humble priest folk and cider merchants.
My people themselves may be humble in their cause, but with me and behind me is our entire order. Priests and more priests to serve a honorable lord. I'm sure the power of the divines is not something which anyone here would particularly doubt, especially against a foe. To my understanding, we're facing on our border.
Nods. Indeed, it is a savage beast that we have to contend with. Something that needs to be subjugated with some force and a firm hand. If you can wrangle some of the old Inquisitor spirit into him.
Moreover, if nothing else, I can also offer support and training if you have any who are interested in taking up the old oaths.
Nods. Very good. We shall then look forward to seeing the work of your holy order in the service of our grand campaigns. As I pointed out before, Father Lanthorn, I am a harsh but fair master. I see to results, and those who produce them are well rewarded. I am sure you can find many examples around my court of such. Perform your duties well, and we will have a long and fruitful relationship. Any form of disobedience, or even worse, incompetence, will be discussed in more direct terms, if I make myself somewhat clear.
I do not aim to displease.
Excellent. Then, Father Lanthorn, by the power of my crown, I hereby confirm your possession and your rulership over the bishopric. I am sure we can look forward to many, a good year working together for the greater good of all of our people.
He will nod and rise. In your honor, my liege.
Excellent. Most excellent. Looks over to Arkland and nod that he can begin the preparations for the great banquet that we're going to have in the evening to commemorate such a momentous occasion.
Oh, of course. You were also informed you have additional guests waiting if you are so inclined.
Oh, very well.
As the doors open, as you see a small group enter in. You didn't think coming to the far end of the world would stop our conversations now, did you?
Hooray! Lord Zion. I'm gonna smile.
You've given me much to think about, young man.
Lord Zion, it is a pleasure to see you in my court. Please, please be welcome.
Must say, I somewhat like what you've done with the place. You've almost gotten the stink of our ancient enemies out of it.
He smiles. Yes, indeed. The scrubbing is continuous and vigorous, I assure you. Gives a wolfish grin.
To think an elven city under our control. A high elven city under our control, for that matter.
Indeed. And we have just begun to unlock its many secrets. There are fantastical potential here. And great potential to project one's power. Indeed. He will nod satisfactory to himself.
He nods, stroking his beard a little bit.
I am glad that you're here, Lord Zion, since we have quite recently increased the size of our holdings considerably. Your vast experience will be invaluable, I am sure.
I am more than happy to offer my services to you, if that is something you are so inclined towards. Despite my age, I still have many secrets to share.
Age is certainly not a hindrance in this court. Glances over to Vickers, who is like 500 years old, right?
No.
I mean, it's Vickers might still suddenly feel it on his bones.
Yeah, I mean, I am old. I'm elderly.
Yes.
It's something you can share.
Exactly. Spry, as spry as when he was 50. Look at him.
think with the Lord Bishop here now, and also Lord Zion, Vicus. The number of people in your own age category has significantly gone up.
Hey, new
That's
friends.
great. Demographic representation. Let's
Yes.
go.
I feel validated. Yep. Yeah, if Lord Zion can turn over his character sheet over to Dancer down there, we can have a look and see where he fits in the court later. But yeah, Amenas intends to offer him a place on the council, provided that he has, skills and bonuses that are relevant to things we need.
He does have some skills which are relevant, and certainly you'll likely find of interest.
If nothing else, I'll send him as a major domo to some of the more, places that need a little bit more of a hands-on approach, like Alcen, for example, which I think still is like half on fire.
It's recovered at this point. It's not really on fire now.
Okay.
It's not 100% shape, but it's not on fire.
But we don't have anyone ruling that for us, right?
Nope, currently that's under your direct control.
Right.
But yes. Lord Zion has lost much of his old military capability from his younger days.
Certainly.
Sadly, he's not the same spry individual who could, take those long military treks all the time.
He's not leading the vanguard, what you're saying.
Yes, not anymore. But he does have extensive skills and his own network of individuals. He could function quite well in a few different roles on your council. Including, but not limited to, being Royal Advisor,
Alright.
High Consul,
Uh-huh.
Royal Spy Master.
And that position is taken.
Yeah, it's good to know that he could, though.
Yeah,
I have the
yeah.
replacement.
Yes.
Let's have some redundancy. You never know.
Or in theory, Royal Attaché, though he is weakest in military now due to his older age.
Yeah. Let's see, what do you say? Royal Advisor.
His strongest would be Royal Advisor out of his bonuses.
I like that.
We'd have to put Ander somewhere else then.
Ander, you're going to Alcend.
Oh, is he like taking it over?
I think we could, right?
Just give it to him?
I mean, it's potentially not give him his cousin's old lands.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Does he want it?
Did we give that to Rochelle, though?
What?
No, we get.
No, we gave. No, what are you on about? We give him.
Oh,
Belrod.
Yeah, you gave Rochelle the land you claimed up north from the Duchess.
Alright, I forgot who his cousin was for a second.
Right.
Yes. I mean, he's a local, in a way. Like, he has familiar ties, and him being the liege of that place might not be the worst. They know he is of the family, the ruling family, and that might stabilize the region even more.
Something to consider. But are things secretly just returning to the status quo?
Mm-hmm.
But, well, reshuffling of council will take some time, but it is something which can be considered.
Yeah.
But Lord Zion's quite happy to be here. He also hopes you don't mind that he brought his own small little guard retinue with his travels up here.
Of course, of course.
Yeah, so now that I'm in the presence of his little guard attaché, can I use my biographical eye on this individual here?
Proceed.
You may.
Because who the fuck is that? Let's see. Where's my feet so I remember what it was again. There we go. Let's try this check. I have
Not been the most reliable check for you in the world, but
That's something. Wait, is this secret or not?
it would be secret because you can learn false information.
True. Just do that with my sheet then instead.
Yeah, there's a risk of false information then.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So, the individual the individual accompanying, as you already established, does appear, by all accounts, to be a blood elf.
Yes.
And, like, looking over her, and her kind of, like, stylistic choices, the slight accent she has when she speaks, you have no reason to doubt the fact that, no, you're pretty sure she is native to the far south, to the Summer Citadel regions. She is a native blood of the Blood Elves. Native born, native blood. As for her profession, mage would be definitely the best way of putting it.
Okay.
She appears to be some kind of fairly skilled magical practitioner, as far as you can tell. Though it's not the easiest for you to tell exactly the nature of her magic.
Okay.
But nonetheless, definitely appears to be some kind of scholarly mage. Yeah, but she does appear to be a full-born blood elf from the region.
All right.
What she's doing following around this old man is a whole different issue.
Yeah, I mean, he was literally just talking about ancient enemies. So, I mean, it's a bit weird.
Mm.
I might actually. No, not right now in the court, but I might maybe say something to him at some point when we are alone and ask him about it.
Beyond that, your court is slightly abuzz with other activity, but you don't have any other immediate guests to, let's say, swear fealty to you in the court. Outside the very petty nobles who you don't necessarily need to give attention to. You know the type. With that in mind, I heard Amnes was planning a banquet.
Yes.
Yes.
Grand celebration for our guests.
Are you having your new vassals be guest of honor, or is there a particular individual you'd like to specifically call out to be like a guest of honor for this?
Everyone is a guest of honor. All
Okay.
the new vassals, Lord Zion and the newly Countess Earless Rochelle.
Either is appropriate for this, so very well. Okay. No, Montgomery, you're not here. Go away.
And he could be invited.
Montgomery is sadly not here.
Ah, sad.
You do not have the luxury of the company of Sir Barnsworth.
One day.
It is Countess.
Countess?
Yeah, the female version of Earl is a Countess.
Understood.
What's the female version of a count then?
Countess.
Also Countess.
Well, that isn't confusing at all.
It's basically
No.
there just isn't a female version of Earl.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and because they're basically on the same tier as each other, like Earl and Count are basically on the same tier in terms of like power. So, yeah. Different titles for the same position. But very well, you're hosting a banquet. How extravagant of a banquet?
Decently extravagant.
I mean, how much do we need to be extravagant?
Are you
Like
really
money-wise.
Are you really counting coins at the moment?
I'm counting platinum, how many I need it to be.
Yeah, just standard lavishness. We're not feasting like foreign dignitaries here, so we don't need to go all out. But we don't want to appear to be cheap either.
Understood.
Trying to impress these people.
What is your prefer? Is there a particular kind of menu you would like to set for tonight?
The theme is the Aurora Borealis.
An interesting challenge for your chefs, to be
Yes,
sure.
that's the theme. Certain like far Nordic flavors, you know, the salmon from the streams. Someone has clubbed a bear, you know. There's some reindeer. Some stuffed beaver, you know what I mean, like stuff like that.
Isaac is going to be asked if you would like to help try and catch some of the game for tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I was about to suggest that.
This is also the
You
kitchen's
can-
way of getting Isaac to be able to join the feast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
But then, like,
it's,
he caught some of it, so clearly he's allowed to be here.
it's win-win. You pluck some herbs too while he's at it. It'll provide like 25% of the banquet or something.
Very wise.
This is honestly just a really common thing to like every so often ask Isaac to go out and like grab something, because that way, hey, Isaac's allowed to be here. He did the hard work.
It's true. It is hard work to do it properly.
Yeah, it's okay if someone else cooked it. You did the hunting. You did the important bit. Very well. You can set up a grand banquet. So just double checking your little guest list for this. So it's going to be, of course, your new guest of honor here, and I presumably like your council and court.
Yeah.
As a whole.
Yeah.
Understood.
A meet and greet.
Meet your new co-workers,
Mm-hmm.
and also enjoy this mutton.
Mutton. We don't really have after work pub runs here, you know. We have this stuff.
I mean, you could do an after-work pub run, but that means you're going to be, there's not that many places to do your pub run to.
Only the brothel, right?
I mean, there's more than the brothel.
Okay, that's good.
You got a couple of bars. The Rodrigo is likely to be found at all of them.
Hey, good old Rodrigo. I'm glad he's around.
He's around making a name for himself in the town. At least, mostly making a name for himself in the town.
Very good.
I will pay him 5 platinum to entertain.
What was that?
I will pay him 5 platinum to entertain.
Of course, he will come along with backup musicians with him.
A royal commission. Incredible honor.
He does add a caveat that he's also allowed a little bit of the food.
Sure, of course, Shields need.
If
He can have a Shields position.
Seal never drinks wine. She licks her lips looking at him.
No, it's a special wine.
I remind you, the servers are instructed to pour this very particular bottle only for Ciel and nobody else. It's from her private stash. Under no circumstances is this to be served to another guest.
No, she's very particular about her drink.
I don't think she even gives that to the servants. She just brings her own.
She has
You just put your own bottle on the
she has a
table.
brown bag, like a hobo.
No,
Just
I
puts
mean,
it
I
on the
have
table.
the spacious pouch, which I think Ciel will hold her reserved blood and make wine out of it, or enhance her wine with it.
I mean, just mix a little bit in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does Isaac drink? Moonshine made of bark and mushrooms, I guess.
Maybe a mix of that, a mix of tea. He does try the occasional like banquet offerings just to see what the taste is like, but doesn't indulge, of course.
Of course. Too fancy.
Yeah, too boring, really.
Oh, okay, sure.
Like you just pick it up from a shelf, and that's supposed to satisfy anyone. That's just
If he doesn't club it to death himself, what's the point?
I mean, yeah.
Why does this like reindeer have like a mammoth trunk indentation into it? Have you been clubbing this to death?
Again, he was told to
I mean,
go hunting. The parameters were not specified.
That way the cooks don't need to tenderize the meat and everything goes quicker. It's efficient.
Man, I just with my inner eye, I can see the spectacle of like Isaac hunting around Sorakai. It's this mammoth rushing to and fro, just smashing things, and then putting it like in a basket or something on its back.
But yes, your full court does attend. Quite everyone quite eager to for Amonis's return here.
Mm-hmm.
And I do mean your full court attending,
Yes.
including but not, of course, limited to, of course, Lord Ander, Gillian McFrey, Captain Estinian Lamprey, who is constantly sitting next to Ceres.
Mm-hmm.
After all, it's downtime now. Estinian has some more poetry to share.
Oh, good.
I hope Howdem is ready, wherever he is.
He has gone away for the evening, it seems.
Well, we know what Ceres is occupied with for the rest of the night, then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Percy Penwick and Hoot Hoot.
Right.
Hoot Hoot, who seemed to have claimed its own glass of wine.
Mm-hmm.
Torin is here, but Torin is just kind of like standing in the corner, very awkwardly.
Torin doesn't sit anymore.
I mean, he's just being like head of security for the banquet. Despite
Ryan
being
does
a
not
guest,
sit either.
just like despite being a guest for the party, he's not like he's just standing around.
It's fine. It's Torin. He's weird. Like fine.
There has been an unexpected duel happening in your garden.
Oh.
As Count Ike Redhorn and Mazzara seem to have hit it off in both being expert duelists and wanting to challenge each other.
Ah, there you go. Good fun. We will jollily attend, and do that royal clap, when it's done.
Yeah, it is an interesting show with Ike being basically pure martial.
Yeah.
He's just like the pure fighter who is so good with his weapon that it's slightly intimidating. Like, how can someone be that good with a sword?
Mm-hmm.
Versus Mazzara, who of course, her advantage comes from her being able to weave in spells, and suddenly, you attack her, and suddenly she's just like teleported behind you. It's like, oh wait, what?
So who wins the duel? The royal assassin or the noble knight?
That is a good question. That is not clear cut. I'm going to roll some dice.
We had many days of rest, right?
Yes, you can have this be a rest for yourself. Your royal assassin wins,
Hey,
but only really by a hair.
that's fine. An assassin only needs to win by a hair. Very good. Very good indeed.
It was incredibly close, though.
Oh, the boy is here, of course, as well.
Yep. I need to add him onto the roster, but he is technically going to be part of the court now.
Yeah, he's internship here for a couple of years. We'll have like weekly sessions where Amanas will talk statesmanship and stuff with him. And I'm sure like Seal and Ceres can put together like a curriculum of study and stuff for him. Everything a young lord needs.
Cool.
Penmanship, swordsmanship, statesmanship.
How to get good underlings to do your work for you.
Indeed. Statesmanship.
It's one from CL.
I'll be honest, that's not an area he's particularly skilled in, getting underlings to do work for him.
He needs to have an
CL is
underling first.
surprisingly. Yeah.
The young Finian Ron, though, like he's clearly a little intimidated by seeing everything up here,
Yes.
but he does. It surprisingly doesn't take him long to blend in and seemingly start talking with quite a few members of your court.
Excellent.
Like, he has nervousness, but he also, he still has that slight people skill spark, similar to Eliza in that sense.
Excellent.
A young boy.
Yeah.
Oh, question, I guess, for Eva. Is Lord Shell invited?
Lord Show is officially not part of the court.
Yes.
No, he's not.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to request his appearance? He's a curiosity we can sort of parade around, I suppose.
I mean,
Also,
he's a-
there's a difference between being invited and being present.
He's sneaking in.
I'm just saying, how slow would a turtle have to be to do stealth right now?
You
You've been
know,
moving like 5 feet per round.
you know what? Amnas is in a magnanimous mood. If someone doesn't like outright point Lord Shell out, Lord Shell can be around.
Lord Show ends up getting into a rather long and heated conversation with the new Father Landfawn.
Oh, good.
God, about religion.
Father
There's a fire.
Father Landfawn being mildly offended that apparently this turtle has been granted divine providence.
This is you know, God is not without a sense of irony or humor, it seems.
no, Severus.
Yeah, that's like one. I don't know, like it's so weird because her magic granted him sentience, but then he sort of gained divinity somehow. So who knows?
The gods apparently noticed him for some reason.
Yeah, maybe he prays very devoutly, or death or something. He's like, please just kill me.
Take me, Ryder.
Yep, I'm ready.
Other than that, of course, you have your. Other than that, of course, you have Arklan. You have Danza.
Yeah, we'll you know, we'll also invite Reverend
Sure.
Mother and Sister Fiona and Thane, like all of
How
these.
kind.
Yeah, all these people.
And of course, you have your retainers. You have Lady Serena de Brozy.
Yeah.
You also have Persephone the Fantabulous show up.
Fireworks display,
Oh,
of
good.
course.
Yes.
Yes.
If the fireworks were intended or not, unclear, but fireworks display.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, it's good.
They attended. We will go with that.
Yeah, it was good.
you also have a rather beautiful woman shop who you don't initially recognize,
Okay.
and then it dawns on all of you.
What?
If we suddenly have a mysterious woman among us,
Yeah, there is this rather mysterious looking woman with this like beehive of a hair setup.
I think Aminas will sidle close to Vicus and it's like, I think there's a mysterious woman here.
Because you immediately recognize who it is.
Yeah, who is it?
That's Fiella, you're half Liland, but in human disguise.
Oh, yeah, okay. Don't worry about it, King. It's fine.
And she decided to ditch the tail and, the snake hair.
Wait, can she? What do you mean ditch the tail? Does he hang it up in the wardrobe? Well, like, what's happening?
Again, just polymorph disguise.
Magic.
He's just unhook the tail.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh, of course. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Don't let her near
She doesn't
any
seem
of
the
the
most-
food, though.
She is slightly a little bit of a klutz, though perhaps that's used to being her not used to be having legs.
Wait.
Sure.
She's half Gorgon. Or Medusa.
Yeah. So when you polymorph, you don't get access to those abilities anymore. Sure.
No, I never
See-
polymorphed. I don't know that.
Well,
does-
you're told that now.
It doesn't appear she's turning everyone to stone by looking at them.
Yeah, that would be a problem, you see. Alright, fair.
As she is here, politely making her way around. So it's very rare for her to come out of her labs. So,
Maybe we'll have a little talk.
though it does seem like she has something she wants to discuss with certain members of the court. Perhaps the reason she finally left her lab for once.
Alright.
Aminas wants to take the Reverend Mother aside.
You can definitely do so during a moment of the festivities going on.
Yeah, Aminas wants to know Reverend Mother's view on Father Lanthorn. Because if anyone in the court and its environs knows anything about Father Lanthorn is probably the Reverend Mother.
Okay. So you take her to the side. She kind of looks, kind of like side eyes through the window back towards where he currently is, arguing with the turtle.
Yes.
Hmm. It's been a while since I've seen him. Surprising given how close our realms are, but we tend to move in different circles a lot of the time. I don't know exactly what you know of him, what you don't. She taps her cane against the ground. Once a member of the Inquisition. Actually, rather high-ranking in the Inquisition, for that matter. Used to pride himself on hunting down a variety of unholy threats. In particular, when there was a vampire outbreak.
All right.
Honestly, though, something made him retire, and I'm not sure what it is. He decided he wanted the peaceful life, despite having climbed so far up the ranks. He likes ambition. Say that. How someone could throw away the chance of becoming one of the cardinals, I don't know.
Right.
He was promising back in his day. He could have gotten there if he wanted to. Don't know what stopped him.
Chose for himself or for some other reason to not.
Ever since, he's really not played much in the church's politics. He's stayed out of it. Despite having a lot of sway, he's always told his kind of faction to stay out of the votes.
Would you describe him as an outcast or a pariah, or is he just self-isolating?
More self-isolated.
All right.
It's not. Again, it's not clear why he stepped away from it. He just chose to stop using his authority there.
Well, Reverend Mother, you are, as always, a font of knowledge and an absolute delight. Give her a kiss on the hand.
Oh, such a charmer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
She seems rather happy that you invited her to this grand fest.
I'm a fan of the Reverend Mother. I like her. She's in good standing with the court.
I remember discussions back then of we make sure she doesn't get too over her head.
And she hasn't.
I mean,
I'm
I
happy.
mean, as it stands, you see value in having a priest of death in the court.
I sure do.
Though her domain has shifted as we've changed systems,
Right.
nonetheless, she is still a priest of the grave and death. So,
Right.
There's another person that Isaac would have actually invited to this because,
Oh?
you know, why not? He has the authority.
Go ahead.
The young blood elf who's been tending our gardens. I feel like he deserves to get a good meal.
Oh.
You may.
Yes, our guest.
Yes, you're
He's
young.
around.
You're mostly restricted to the diplomat building where he's got a room in.
Yes.
You can invite him to this, the young Vanitas.
Isaac has no idea who he actually is or what the context is, but he's been doing good work, and that needs to be, at least acknowledged.
The garden does look rather beautiful thanks to his handiwork, especially tending to the grave, the area near Zed's grave.
Exactly.
So many flowers blooming, even in winter. So very impressive, actually. He doesn't interact a lot. and seems slightly overwhelmed by everything going on. Though he does seem to find some minor comfort after running across a few people who, if nothing else, a few words of Elven being spoken around by a few individuals gets him some ease.
You know, if it gets overwhelming, just grab as much food as you like and flee.
I mean, valid.
The Isaac approach to partying.
He does seem to eventually end up in the corner near the other blood elf, Arya.
Yes,
Oh no.
makes sense.
Blood elf conspiracies.
Perhaps not a surprise. Perhaps not a surprise that he heads towards one of his own.
That is also someone Isaac definitely wants to talk to, although mostly like small talk, because he's really interested in how the South actually looks. Like, he's never been that far south, so it's gonna be an environment that he wants to know everything about. Specifically, the environment, in fact.
Interesting. Just want to confirm, what languages does Isaac know? My own reference.
Good question. He basically only knows Common and Wild Song, although my character sheet is telling me that I have an unallocated language, which I do not know where it may come from.
Humans get 1+ as part of character creation.
Really? Did I choose that in Pathfinder? Let me check.
So humans by default have 2 unless you have negative int. And then Wild Song because, well, turns out you do speak the Wild Song. You're a druid.
Cool. No, I haven't chosen any. So
Any language.
Isaac only knows 2 languages. Maybe he'll learn one soon.
You have a slot open to try and learn one at some point.
True.
Okay. You can certainly go down there and speak to them. You want to learn more about some of the southern lands, then?
Yes.
Okay. Just for my own reference, can you make me a diplomacy roll?
Oh, that's well, I can improvise at least, as usual.
You can also on top of that give me a nature roll as well.
That I do not need to improvise. Maybe I should have improvised.
I mean, 28 is not terrible.
Yeah. I'd roll a 7 and a 5.
Hmm.
You know what? No, I don't want to embarrass myself in front of the Blood Elves. I'm gonna hero point the nature roll.
Okay. Better.
Slightly better.
It's up to now a common threshold. That would be the master threshold, I believe, normally.
That is a master, barely.
As Isaac joins them in conversation. You're not the most socially warming person in the world. To Isaac's credit, but, you are not the person who's great at usually endearing yourselves to others necessarily.
Oh, yeah. It's an understatement.
But, despite not necessarily able to win over their hearts immediately, your connection to nature definitely seems to earn some trust of them.
Yeah, he's like gushing about the beauty he's seen here up north, including the theme of the party, the Aurora Borealis, which the various depictions around, of course, obviously don't capture well at all in the slightest. They are, in fact, thoroughly wrong, and he can explain why. But it's still, that's the thing you got to see yourself. And surely the South has similar phenomenons that he can't even imagine, surely.
It takes some time. It takes some time for them to fully warm up, but they do start slowly describing some of what it's like beyond, kind of into the far south areas once you get towards the Summer Citadel and close to the equator regions like that. As they start describing some of the lush jungles that they grew up in, with canopies of trees, kind of as tall as some of the largest buildings here in Sorkai. Talking about the various creatures that inhabit it, including these large lizardy creatures.
Large lizards? How large can they possibly be? I mean, oh, that large. Oh,
As congratulations, they will describe to you a few dinosaurs.
but I can only truly understand them once I take another feed.
Well, Isaac has much to ponder.
But
You
they,
gain insight.
but they will both, yeah, they will both begin to describe though some of those things down there. How much here there's like the aurora borealis, but they'll also describe something rather beautiful that tends to occur every summer in one part of the jungle where all the mushrooms all seem to erupt spores at the same time. There's like this almost like golden glitter of spores that cover the jungle.
Hmm.
Though, as they also then note about the safety precautions you have to take when that entire area is then full of spores.
Yeah, mushrooms not exactly as aggressive here in the colder climates.
Sorry,
Well,
they do get
they are some.
they get very aggressive. It turns out when the mushrooms are growing, both on a spot of high magical air energy, and it is very hot and moist.
I can imagine.
If you are ever so inclined, it may be possible at some point for me to show you directly. One day.
Oh, I'd love that. Yes. And I do like exploring things on my own, but having a guide would be certainly a different experience. Potentially even better.
Lord Zeon gives me capacity, even when I'm in his service, to occasionally return to my homeland. Though magic does make that significantly easier.
I can imagine.
As it turns out, that was also part of the topic of discussion between these two before you arrived. As well, Arya's presence here grants a much easier way for the young ward to possibly take his leave as an option, or if nothing else, complete his mission.
We all know how important that is.
As Arya looks to you. How much do you know of our people's connection to the land?
Frankly, very little. I've had very little contact with your people.
Not a
In
surprise.
fact, I think the two of you are the only I've ever really talked with.
Again, not a surprise. Very few of us are ventured this way north. It's not exactly an option we have. Not with constant war.
Yeah, I've heard about that, I suppose. I won't pretend I know exactly what's going on and why, but if I had to have an opinion about it, I think it could be better.
She takes you outside and will briefly try to give you some basic kind of understandings of her people's ways. It's limited what you can get on your kind of first little sit down and chat. But she very much explains part of their philosophy of how they view all life as being kind of fully interconnected. The life force of one creature to enter another creature. Very much also reflecting their philosophy of magic, being able to draw life from even those that are dying to heal others if needed, or draw energy from themselves to heal others. As a common practice, at least.
Certainly an interesting perspective. Yeah, Isaac will listen with genuine interest.
Arya seems to have a small smile explaining all of this. Perhaps not having genuine interest in a while from anyone. But it is only a surface level she can teach you at the moment.
Yeah, you can't exactly explain an entire culture in like an evening.
Still interesting nonetheless. Is there something from Seal?
Yes, as part of this night, Sia will pick up the Amanda challenge of our Aurora and tries to weave that to her performance and illusion, which she will make happen at some point of the night.
Are you kind of going to make an indoor Aurora?
Yes, with illusionary scene and my performance, weaving it to be part of the performance.
Let us see how accurate your Aurora is.
Aurora
Okay.
Borealis, located entirely in our banquet hall.
Well, it's mainly the ceiling and the performance that Sia brings. So do you want like a nature check and performance?
Yes. Can you please give me a nature and a performance? A nature to see how good your Aurora Borealis is. And a performance for the general show.
Pretty good, Aurora.
It's a pretty solid Aurora.
I'm gonna reroll that one. That's what that is? That's 3, yeah, I'm gonna reroll that one. There we go.
There we go.
It is an outstanding performance you give. And the scene is beautifully lit, with the aurora kind of filling up the hall, even to the point where perhaps Isaac can't pick that many holes in it.
He wants to, and it's like, yeah, but that's actually pretty close.
All the guests are somewhat mesmerized by it. It's a beautiful display and performance, and a show of skill. Gonna make a note of this. Your new vassals in particular seem very impressed seeing Ciel's skills.
That's usually be good at.
You have a brand. You're pretty good at your brand.
My brand. Oh, most charming. So, did the Leland lady want to speak to any of us?
She does.
As he was slithering about.
During the evening's matters, you will find her eventually when you've got a moment where you're more isolated, more alone. You find her making her way up to you, not necessarily subtly. She's not very good at being subtle in humanoid form. Again, what's with these legs? She's used to usually her lower half is just a long tail.
Yes, yes.
But she will politely move up beside Amos. Greetings, my liege. It's been quite a few moons since we talked.
Nods and yes, I take it you have been busy in your work. I trust you have everything you need.
I would enjoy an expansion to my lab, but I imagine that will take me showing more results first.
Assume correctly.
Of which I have a prototype I feel is ready for deployment in the field. If allowed, I would ask if I can attend your war meeting tomorrow. I would be quite interested on using it against the orcs.
Someone else nods. Yes, good. Good indeed. Of course. Of course. I'll have you attend the meeting and you can explain further.
She had a big smile on her face that you. Amos probably doesn't care. To most people, it would be a very unnerving smile.
Oh,
Where
well,
it's this. There's this slight like psychopathic look to it of like, she is so happy about the fact she has made something incredibly deadly.
all crazy scientists are like this. It's fine. Fine. Happiness is ready to enter the era of biological warfare.
And certainly is so, as she will discuss that she has perfected what she can only refer to as death fog.
Yes. Yes.
She thinks it's perfected.
Yes. That sounds good.
None of the test subjects have lasted long, but she needs it on live training,
Mm-hmm.
live testing.
Certainly. How do we go about testing this wonderful new invention?
Again, that's to be discussed in the war meeting, but I'm sure you can find a use for a potentially large, gaseous, deadly poison.
Yes, yes. Certainly, if the poison doesn't necessarily, damage the land so much around it and whatnot. If it
Its
does,
effects are vaguely containable.
that's fine. Just find an orc camp and then just start launching.
She does note the preferred method of being able to is long-range launching it if you can, but
Sure. We
or
have
remote destination.
we have option of bird delivery as well. We can deploy it from the air.
Bird delivery, catapult. You have option.
Do not catapult the bird, however.
No, that was bad.
I just want to throw that in there right away.
Especially, do not catapult a bird holding a barrel of death fog.
That's a particular note to Persephone. Do not build a bird catapult.
I wonder how Isaac's going to feel about having a biological weapon.
Chemical, please.
Yeah, probably more chemicals accurate.
It's fine. It's natural. All ingredients are sourced from nature.
I mean, they all at some point were part of nature.
See? Now you get it. If it's part of reality, it is by definition part of nature.
Have they gone through 12,000 alchemy steps in between? Yes, but that's not the point.
That's not the point at all. Only natural ingredients.
Yeah. After giving you the very brief information and request, she will sliver off, informing you though to enjoy your victorious evening. May the ascendancy continue to prosper.
Like a piece of chicken or something on the way out.
She does interestingly get into a drinking contest later that night, if nothing else because with immunity to poison,
Yeah.
it's not exactly like she can, lose.
I assume Father Lanthorn brought a lot of cider.
Yes.
Yes.
He didn't really have like a direct gift for you, but he did bring enough cider for the entire banquet.
There you go. That's the royal gift right there.
It's pretty much the only major valuable thing his land produces to give like that.
And then fervent faith to throw against our enemies, of course.
Yes.
Blind, raging zealotry.
He can provide priests, many priests.
Good. War priests?
I mean, he can provide war priests.
Good.
Do you want a wall of people both smiting and swording? You can do that. Want a wall of people who are doing prayers? Probably do that.
Good. We needed to shore up our medical wing, so to speak.
In fairness, that was one area your military was quite weak in.
Yeah. Still need more military as a general rule.
You didn't have a whole lot of like divine magic either, just as an option.
No. But with some chemical warfare on the table, might not need that many people to actually win.
In theory.
Works. What do they know? Now they
So
should
you might
see
need
the true might of Imperial technology.
Though you might need Persephone to develop an upgraded gas mask.
Yes.
Or just a lot of air bubble spells. One of the other.
You just sort of bombard it with gas, and then you wait a few days, and then you go in and see who's alive.
But yes, with that, the night will go rather successfully. Everyone has a grand time. even Amnes, you have a decent time at your own party.
Hooray!
You get to watch some sword fighting. You get to have some interesting conversations. The food is good. Hell, even Torin gets involved a little bit, if nothing else, because he's forced to. Though I do wonder if Torin goes around just doing a health and safety checklist wherever he goes.
Torin will probably indulge a little bit just because it is objectively proven to increase coherency in government, which is important.
It's true. The night is long. The banquet hall's a bit of a mess by the end of it. It's fine. That's what you've got maids for. As you can all take a proper rest. I'm going to make a little note in chat for this. I'll grant you all an extra hero point next time for your characters all having a very wonderful party here.
Hooray! I say.
Won't have access to it immediately. Maybe some of you are a bit too hungover from the party, but
All Amnas.
unless someone swapped his mug up for a different mug.
That would be bad.
I don't think anyone's there.
Yeah.
The mug is.
If
The
it
mug has
happens,
very stern face.
he has a very stern face on the mug. It's a very stern dwarf face.
It has. It's just part of the description of the mug. Like,
If
In
anyone-
fairness, with Amnes's fortitude save at this point, it would take a lot of alcohol though to get him out.
It's true, but it is a weakness of his for sure. And I assume that if anyone gets close to that mug, Vickers murders them.
Though I'm somewhat amused by the idea of us adding an authorized rune onto that mug, meaning if anyone not Amnes picks it up, it stabs them.
Yes. Symbol of death or something on it.
I mean, they literally added a rune called authorized, which you can put on anything. It can even be on like just a regular like random mug lying around.
Mm-hmm.
And you can set a parameter such as like they must meet this alignment, or they must be this bloodline, or they must be just this person.
Right. That's fun.
And if you try interacting with the item and you're not that, it unleashes a spike heading through the object through you, and then causes you constant bleed as well as the pierce damage until you let go of it.
Great.
It's just like, oh, I see.
The mug frowns even harder.
The mug disapproves.
I mean, yeah, I've definitely.
I'm just saying, imagine a peasant dying by picking up your mug.
You know, he deserved it.
that wouldn't be that surprising because they can die just being next to Amans. If they are, scared,
I don't automatically brain melt people anymore.
Sadly.
It is unfortunate. It is the one thing I miss from 5e is my just passive brain melting capabilities. Alas.
You know what I miss from 5e?
Nothing.
Nothing.
That's because your druid form is just usually better in most ways now.
And also Sheep's boundless hate for 5e.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true.
No, I'm not going to talk about 5e. I almost did.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Yes. The next morning, though, the cleanup slowly begins. It's nearing towards the end of the month at the moment. You'll have some more paperwork you'll need to do now you're back, of course. But
Of course.
before then, you have a chance to meet up with some of your other advisors, just kind of find out what's going on in your realm.
Right.
Obviously, as you're aware, economically, the realm is somewhat panicking at the moment, but that's not really unique to you.
Right.
That's sort of every realm is kind of now feeling a recession has started.
Right.
Except the Duchess's realm, which is just kind of chilling.
Right.
At this time, your economic department isn't entirely sure what to do about the Duchess's sudden mess here. obviously they weren't fully aware what the Duchess was going to be up to, and that she was going to just trade sanction the entire empire.
Well, even if she did, we haven't, and she's still trading with us, right?
Yeah, you're still getting trade from her at least.
Yeah.
It's just obviously your previous trade imports and exports of the empire are now feeling aren't as well because the empire themselves don't have a lot of money to trade with now.
I suppose, but we're willing to trade with the empire still. So
Yes.
maybe more stuff will come our way that way.
Hard time selling stuff, arguably easier buying stuff from the empire now though.
Yes,
As honestly, the empire will do any sales they can get right now.
of course.
So,
We have this reserve fish, you know.
Yes, yes.
but like it's not too bad of a crisis. They can figure things out for the most part.
Right.
As for security, not much has happened during your time away, with one minor exception. There was an attempted break-in to the palace during your absence.
Oh.
Down in the dungeons, there is a couple of orc spies.
Oh. Well, that's just adorable. It's just adorable that I thought they could get away with it. I mean, has Mizara been able to get anything from them?
It's Mazara. Of course she's managed to get something out of them.
Does she need them for anything?
I mean, they're still alive at the moment.
Yes.
She doesn't necessarily, she thinks she's got all the information she can get out of them at this point.
Off with their heads.
You want to do that personally?
No.
I mean,
they're not worthy of my blade.
don't you want to save them as a test subject?
But that stops. Relay that order. Looks over to Seal. Miss Vampire, an excellent suggestion. They will be delivered to the lab.
Sure. There's a bit there, isn't there?
So, are you delivering those to Viela's lab?
Yes, that's correct.
Very well. They are delivered. They are delivered to the mysterious unmarked building outside of town.
That's right. They would have preferred the execution, I believe.
They might after this. Very well. The two orcs will be moved out there.
Hooray, more war crimes.
The information she's gathered, not of the information Mazara was able to get out of them, was nothing too exciting.
Yeah.
It seems like they were told to come here and scout out Sorkai, trying to find weak spots in case they want to do a retaliatory invasion.
Sure.
Planning they did find a crude map they were working on, looking for good spots saboteurs could work.
Right.
It's fine. That information doesn't have to get out to anyone. Doesn't seem like they know a lot, though she did manage to extract a bit more information about just the landscape in the Blackwood, which is always helpful.
Yes. Speaking of the orcs, I'm
Yes.
not entirely clear whether that whole thing that Faison, I think was her name, talked about is still a thing. It is, isn't it? Or is that our meta explanation for the transition?
It's still a thing to your knowledge. You're not entirely sure what, still not entirely sure what happened there, of course, but
Teak is going to be Call of Cthulhu.
Yes.
Faison is still afraid of something trying to breach through. And if you go to approach her, she is rather shaken up about the events that occurred, because she witnessed something happen, but clearly didn't witness the same thing you witnessed happen.
Mm. Yeah, it still needs to be investigated, and at least Isaac is taking it seriously.
Yes.
She's currently down at the military camp by your border down there with the orcs.
That makes sense.
She's been working well and helping coordinate the people there in what the orc tactics are likely going to be when they try attacking the wall. Because it turns out she knows pretty well what the tactics are going to be. So she's been doing well enough. She has not betrayed you over the last month you've been away. So that you showed her mercy and she has not betrayed it yet.
Yet.
I mean, I can't say she'll never betray it. Hopefully she doesn't betray it. It's the goal, right? Okay. Do. Okay. With that, though, would Amanus like to see what's going on with the others thing before the meeting?
Yeah, he can have a little lab tour.
Are you inviting the court? Are you inviting the inner circle to come and have a look as well?
Yes.
Very well. As you all head out to the small, mostly unmarked building out just outside of Sorkai, kind of located on the edge of the mountain. On the outside, it's a fairly nondescript building for the most part. Which is very much designed to be intentionally like, oh, this is just like a small cabin out in the woods, right? Sort of thing.
Nothing ever bad happens in cabins in the woods.
Until you head inside and realize there's a passageway leading into the mountain itself that's been dug out. Where she has her little laboratory set up. It's a rather extensive laboratory. Alchemical apparatus all over the place, as well as strange ritual circles. A very large, strange ritual circle made out of heavy lead, sitting on one side of the room. It's rather complicated, and most individuals probably would have no clue what it's actually doing. If anyone is that interested, they can roll an Arcana check to try and figure it out. If you're at least expert in Arcana.
Sure.
No.
Because you aren't sure. It's some kind of elemental work, but the details you aren't clear about. But she welcomes you inside, though this time in her full Lilland form, though she is keeping her eyes covered by a blindfold as you show up. Ah, your majesty and guests. Are you here for a live demonstration?
Amanus nods. Yes, I would like to see what you have for us.
This way. As she leads you inside and shows you to there's kind of like nice little viewing area where you can kind of look down upon various cages down below. As you can see the couple of orcs down there.
Yes.
I do thank you for these specimens. It is rather hard to legally get them normally.
Amanus nods. Oh, no problem. It was an excellent suggestion by the lovely Miss Vampire, as he will indicate what steel.
She looks towards Ciel and just smiles.
He gives like a cautious bow.
My life's work, I believe I have nearly finished perfecting. Though I don't always know I can make it more potent. But I'm close. I would like to introduce you to what I affectionately know as Death Fog. It is an incredibly potent toxin, easily made airborne, though it can also be done in liquid form. That, well, you will see. As you watch as she unleashes, turns a valve, and you see this thick, dark blue gas emit out. It is incredibly thick, It's this sort of thing of like a square of this would totally block vision entirely. You would
Right.
not see a thing through it really. But as you see the gas kind of rise, then you kind of lose sight of the orcs initially, but then you just hear horrific screaming. This horrific gurgle screaming as the orcs clearly try to scramble to somehow get away from it. And after only a few moments, she turns off the gas, and it takes a little bit for the gas to disperse. But it only takes a few rounds for the sound of the orcs to stop.
Right.
And as the gas kind of fades, you just see the orcs on the ground, looking almost like heavily decomposed, like their entire skin just melted off them.
Oh my.
Jonas, the person, is horrified by this madness. Amanas is delighted.
I want to use my soul side to see if they are still considered to be living, or in a sense, of like a spirit, on the orcs.
Of the orcs down there,
Yes.
there is no spirit when you look down there at all.
Interesting.
There's not even like a trace hanging onto the skeleton of like, oh yeah, you could resurrect that person. No. There's no soul energy left on it.
Oh my. Amanas
That's quite
nods.
deadly.
And how much of this gas do we have? How much can be produced?
Currently, I only have 4 barrels available. But if tests go well, I'm sure His Majesty would not oppose to helping me expand my laboratory.
How much of an area could one barrel cover?
She considers. Roughly, she thinks, and let me pull out the templates tool. Oh, something like
Okay, that's
not that big.
That's not much.
Not big.
It's like, how many barrels do I need to gas a city? All right. Fairly contained then. If a barrel was to be
The gas
detonated,
is fairly heavy and doesn't have a habit of floating away too far. its own.
right.
Though certainly, if you really, though she does muse on that. I suppose if you really wanted to, the use of wind magic could be used to disperse it over longer distances.
Odds. It says, we are perhaps approaching a situation where we need to assault fortified enemy positions. And something like this death fog would be quite useful in saving our troops' lives and taking out the enemy. Most difficult, it is a challenge, but not impossible to hold out against a siege of catapults. It is much more difficult to hold out when the air itself is dangerous.
How long it does it take to air to dissipate, or the gas to dissipate?
It will
And
take.
be harmless.
It takes some time. A full barrel leaking out would. If it was allowed to leak out naturally, the fog would float around for a good 10 to 20 minutes at least. If you accelerated it with fire, it would go faster, but would also be a much larger explosion.
Oh, it is explosive?
The barrels can be, yes. If hit with of a very high ignition, they will explode outwards, though the gas will dissipate much faster in that case.
Odds. Very good.
Any known magical spell that can restore the effect or prevent the effect of the toxin or the gas?
She pauses and muses to herself. There are some magical spells, usually those held by. She pauses for a moment and waves this dismissive hand towards Isaac. Those sorts of people might be able to use to dispel it away.
Yeah, Isaac's been frowning throughout this entire demonstration.
But
It.
not
Fair.
very few. Though it is a spell that many individuals could, in theory, learn, it's not the sort of thing most people would have prepared.
It is for the moment, a weapon to be deployed to show power and project menace. Not in a situation when it can be deployed on a large scale, yes?
Yes, at the moment I cannot produce large quantities of it purely as I do not have the resources or facilities.
Very good.
But I can produce enough for a coordinated strike.
You said this could also be in liquid form? Could I, for example, coat it on the blade of my weapon?
Yes, that is doable. The coating would be very dangerous. Please do not touch it yourself.
I can handle that.
Do you have any such vials we could take with us for some field testing as well?
She will wave you to come over and shows you a small rack of it in liquid form. So it's only a handful of vials, but there's around. She has around 8 vials sitting in her little test tube rack.
Right. Because you want some poisoned?
Which type of poisons are they? Injury poisons? Contact poisons?
Technically contact.
Yeah, that works with my poison weapon feat, so
Yep.
I'll take some.
Yeah. Simply getting it on your skin is enough to do horrific pain.
That's great.
And as you may have noted, and as CL realized, dying to this is considered a death effect.
Awesome. It's a great assassination poison.
I'm also gonna give these orcs an autopsy.
There isn't
Later on.
There isn't a lot left to autopsy, but you are free to, yes.
Yeah. There's gonna need some medical research on this one.
Viella is just kind of standing there, her fingers kind of together, and that almost that evil mad scientist pose right now.
Yeah.
She is so happy looking at the devastation of her research down below. I think more than a century of research and it's nearly ready. I can make it stronger still, but I'll need more time.
Excellent work. We'll discuss the use of this new weapon at the War Council.
Your enemies won't know what hit them.
Well, that's nods and smiles.
Oh, the sweet day of judgment will be here for them.
Yes, this will do quite nicely. Very good indeed.
How is Isaac feeling standing over watching all this?
I mean, he's conflicted. He's not really like a druid who's like, oh, it's not natural. Like that's not what he does.
No.
But it seems thoroughly cowardly. Like on the one hand, yeah, sure, you're using ingenuity, which is your like every human's and Lilith's, he supposes, nature given right to use for survival. But this just leaves a bad taste.
It is rather cowardly to simply throw a barrel of death at someone.
Yeah, there's no like contest involved where you prove anything really with this sort of stuff. Like you didn't work for it if you deploy this, you know?
Well, on the plus side, we don't have enough to actually deploy it on any meaningful large scale, probably.
Yeah, you don't have enough to deploy it on, you know, a city-wide scale. You can't do full terrorism yet with it.
Yet.
You could strike a building with it pretty well.
My lord, they're hiding inside that building. Just toss a barrel and a few barrels in there through the windows.
I mean, also the gas is heavy; it sinks. So if you could just deploy it on the top of the building, it will sink through the building.
Alright. Yeah, chemical warfare is nasty business.
And you hired the Lilin who's working on it.
That's perfectly fine. Like I said, it's better that she's working for us than out there as a free agent or like hired by the assassin lady or something.
It's true. This is your super deadly poison.
If you want to build an awesome kingdom, you need to. There needs to be some killing. That's Amanas's fervent belief.
But yeah. She is hoping after you get to test run it that she'll get much extra funding for her research.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll give it a go. There's a few orc strongholds that could use a nice gassing.
But yeah, there are some spells that can clear it. It's not, you know, it is a poison and contaminant.
Yeah.
So a spell like Cleanse Air could, in theory, try to push it away. But who prepares Cleanse Air as a spell?
Yeah.
Let me put that on my list.
Hey. I suck.
The second level version of the spell will clear a 30-foot burst around you.
Go.
I mean, I think Gust of Wind also works.
Yes, but Gust of Wind's like a very fine line worth.
Yeah.
If you have that air bubble around you, are you safe? Spell air bubble.
Let's double check.
Is that a spell?
Bubble says
Oh, it is a spell.
a creature
It's
within
lexical
range
content.
enters an environment where it can't breathe. It doesn't specify that breathing is a bad idea.
Oh yeah, trust me. You can definitely, you can definitely breathe in this space.
That's a dumb
Yeah.
trigger. What the fuck?
No, it lets you breathe underwater and like in space, but it doesn't mean that the air that you
Not clean,
have
no.
around you is safe.
Yeah, because otherwise you can just cheat, like inhaled poison spells from that thing. So
Yeah.
Fair enough.
it's fair, I guess.
Yeah, and it's a reaction spell as well. So
Yeah.
What, out of curiosity, what is the most potent poison that she can produce that I could put on my weapon? Is it this death fog, or can she produce something nastier?
So her Death Fog is more a unique project, but for general poisons, let me have a look what she can do.
Yeah. If I might want to buy something for my blade in case I run across something very nasty I need to poison.
Let me have a look here.
Lens air is a cool spell. I actually want that.
Oh yeah, it is a cool spell.
I think it's
it's
coming around
niche.
to it.
Didn't know it existed.
How long do poisons last when you apply them?
It isn't defined in the books. It's up to the GM's discretion. I personally am like, well, I mean, probably not a full day, but if you do it within an hour or so, it'll probably be fine.
Yeah, the answer ends up being somewhat within reason. A while, but like obviously it will get washed off after some point, or you know.
Yeah. I mean, I know you lose it if you crit fail a strike, or if you hit them, obviously. But that's weird. They didn't like answer it in the remaster either.
Yeah, there's discussions on the forums. People are like, how long does it last? And
I mean, but some people like to go the idea of like, oh yeah, if you poison these individual arrows, they can just stay poisoned.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like that for like indefinite. That feels weird because poison is, I don't know, a liquid poison feels like it is some sort of a perishable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's also an action economy to doing poisons as well. So like having them being able to just be there permanently.
On the other hand, I'm like, you know, if you have spent so much money because poisons are so damn pricey,
Yeah.
actually investing in it, I'm like, yeah, I could be generous and be like, you know, it stays poisons. If you want to have a poison dagger, that's fine. You know?
So she can produce common. So looking at her block here, she can produce common poisons up to your level.
All right.
Yeah.
Purple worm venom then, or whatever it's called these days.
Yeah, she can produce any common poison up to your level. She may also have some specialty poisons, but those require her kind of being more assets being given to her necessarily.
Let's see here. Purple.
Right now you're level 11, which means blister wart is one of the higher level ones available.
Oh,
Okay.
purple worm is 13. Darn.
Blister wart with a DC 30 saving throw,
Okay.
doing 2d6 poison damage and giving someone a weakness to physical and force.
Yeah, I'll take some of that. She.
Mm-hmm.
You'll
I'll
need-
pay for it.
You have to spend the money for her to produce it, but yeah.
How much?
I mean, it depends. If you just want it now, full price. If you want to requisition it for a future point, then potentially you can get it discounted.
Sure, but what is the full price?
Full price is $280 per dose.
$280 per dose.
Yeah.
Damn.
Poisons
Wow.
are expensive, hence the issue.
I mean,
Maybe
I'll order one so she can start crafting one over time.
can we have like
if you just want one, basically, she can get it produced for you basically for the next day. That's not.
my question in regarding this was that we have funded her in her lab. Would it be fair to say that she can produce a few doses of poison like for free for us as a result of that investment?
Yes, this is actually one of the things I'll be covering more perhaps next time when we've got Haldimer here properly.
Yeah.
But part of my restructure I'm going through is, every single time you come back to base, you'll be getting some things. As long as she is a retainer to you, she will have a small number of poisons in her inventory that you can just take.
Yeah.
Equally, you have a small number of alchemical items from Persephone's workshop you can just take.
Yeah.
You can still commission from them to get other stuff. Like they may not necessarily always have their maximum level stuff sitting around in their inventory just ready to take.
That's fine. It makes
But
sense.
you'll
to
have
me,
an- Yeah, you basically your retainers will all have benefits like this. They'll be able to grant you, including having just these things lying around.
Yeah.
makes sense since we're funding all of her operation, and she would have nothing if it wasn't for us. That she can give us like a few vials of poison, maybe.
For leftover doses of poison she's got around, you can take these. It's useful. I was testing the potency of this. So here, I've got like 4 spare doses. But essentially though you're like very much how like alchemists start to get all like infused items that last for a day. Essentially, you'll have each month you'll have like hey here's just some infused stuff that lasts the whole month from your various retainers you can take.
Right. Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
It's a little stash of items. Well, from your retainers who produce items. The retainers who don't produce items will have other effects.
Of course.
Sadly, the harpy can only help you if you suddenly wanted to produce outfits. Which I mean, I guess you randomly want a new set of clothing.
Not particularly, but it's good to have the option, I suppose.
I mean, given Amnes never leaves his armor,
Yeah.
I mean, you could get like a new cape.
Yeah.
capes on demand.
Have a new like fetching bear skin cape.
The shoulder patch.
Yeah.
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 Next big thing I'm gonna put on my shoulder pad. Maybe a dragon head there and stuff.
I mean, most likely gonna be an orc or an alien.
That.
I mean, it shows some edges.
It does, yes.
Yeah. Well, it's any other good poison she produced right now. She wants to make dancing lamentation, apparently.
That sounds great.
Not sure what that is.
This toxic erratically stimulates the limbs, forcing unexpected movements.
Steps of forced movement.
At the start of each turn, the victim must take 1 or more steps in a random direction if able.
I see.
In addition, they take 4d6 poison damage and must do 1 step of forced movement. And then, as poison stage 2, they are clumsy, take more poison damage, and must do a step to force movement.
What
And stage
does-
three.
Hefty poison damage.
And stage 3, even more damage, clumsy 2, and 2 steps of force movement.
What was the DC?
86. 30.
Yeah.
I mean, at our level, that's pretty good still.
Yeah, I would.
I'd have to roll a 12 or 12 to hit that.
Yeah.
So,
Let's roll a
and that's with
9.
my expert. Well, you're a big dude, so
Yes,
that makes sense.
I'm mastering the saves.
Are all poisons fortitude? Yeah, right.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Okay.
There are technically not. There's a couple of will poisons in there, but
Gas, like the.
Very interesting.
the vast majority of them are fortitude.
Yeah. What lowers fortitude saves? What condition?
Drained.
Drain. Okay.
Fear? Question mark.
Well, yeah, fear. Yeah, but I
Fear
meant like
lowers-
specifically.
Fear lowers
yeah.
all saves. So.
I meant like a specific target.
So I am curious how being afraid suddenly makes your immune system worse.
Who knows?
I mean, you're overstimulated, so you don't have enough or whatever. Your body's focused on adrenaline, it's not focused on fighting off poisons, you know.
But yeah, in the case of your wonderful Lilith Medusa here, her poison section will continue to raise as your level goes up as well. So, she is quite potent and can produce some rather high level toxins.
Yeah.
And she's only getting better the more you're funding her. Who knows what will happen if she ever hits maximum level?
Does she increase the DCs of poison she makes at lower level, or is it the same?
She can actually, yes.
Because I assume that's toxicologist stuff, right? So.
Yes, she can produce. The poison she produces of lower level will usually have a better DC on them.
Okay, that makes a lot more.
They won't always necessarily be her maximum DC, but they'll at least be better than their default DCs. Which is, because she is a skilled. Well, this is her one thing she does obsessively: makes death, liquid death. Which I feel like is also just like the name of a hot sauce somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, most certainly.
Liquid
it's the
death is
name
a
Canned
drink.
water.
Yeah, canned water.
Yeah.
You know, for bars, for the people who don't want to drink alcohol, cannot drink alcohol because dubious reasons or various reasons,
Oh,
they can have liquid death.
Angry.
Would Amonis like some liquid death?
I'll just take a swig, I suppose.
They have pretty neat cans.
But yeah, also as a thing for people to be aware of for next time, are your military academies done building? Or will be?
Oh, nice.
Because that's something you started. That's something you requested a while ago. The military academy.
Oh yeah.
That's been building for the last 4 months.
Awesome.
Did Barnsworth show up for the inauguration of his street?
Barnsworth sadly has not shown up for the inauguration of his street.
Wow, what a miser.
And he's a busy man.
It's true. He's busy making the world a better place.
And yeah, he did already make the sizable donation, as you forced him to.
No, there's no forcing.
It was a firm suggestion.
Firm suggestion from the man with the lightning halberd.
Mm-hmm.
What did you actually make it into? You didn't want it halberd anymore. You changed it to something else.
Gizarm.
Oh yeah, lightning disarm, whatever
Yes,
that is.
Yes, a gizarm. It's kind of like a halberd, but it has a hook on it. You can drag people around.
I know what that is.
Yeah, the good old gizarm.
That's nasty.
I'm pretty sure we had the same discussion during Way of the Wicked of like, what is a Kassam?
Yeah, it is not.
No, that was a Badish.
Yes.
Oh, it was the Badish. Yes,
Le
of course, man.
Bardiche, the best polearm there ever was.
I still don't know what it is, but we needed that for anti-magic field angels.
The
That's all I
Movanic
remember.
Devas that we were fighting.
Bardiche is 200 axe.
Yeah,
Or pole axe.
good old Bardiche.
This is Bardish.
Yes.
This is a Gisam.
Yep. The French love their polearms.
I don't think if they are French, but sure.
And then somewhere between these two is when you get to the halberd, which is the axe with the spike,
Yes.
typically.
Classic. But yeah, Bardish really good in Pathfinder 1. His arm really good in Pathfinder 2. Albert just sort of decent in all of them. So.
I mean, halberd's never been bad. It's always been a decent choice.
Halberd was really good in Song of Ice and Fire. That's when halberds were like the fucking world ender. Jesus.
Yeah. They don't have any... For the remastered halberd, there isn't anything too special about them.
They're
I mean,
flexible, I think, between slashing piercing.
They are 1d10 reach with slashing, piercing versatility. It's not terrible.
Yeah, that's not terrible. Just that the Gizarm you can do the hook thing with. Very good.
Is it? Oh, should we look forward to Amnes's fighting school, which focuses on Gisarm combat?
Yeah. Noble art of Gizarm combat.
Is that with the new royal weapon you need to get forged? The Holy Avenger, but a Gisarm.
Holy Gizarm.
That is a lot of different polearms.
Oh yeah.
That's only pole arms. You know, there are a lot of variations.
Some of these I recognise, like I recognise the billhook, the glaive,
Yes.
the boar spear, the normal spear, of course.
The pike.
But now some I'm looking at like, what is that?
I recognize the Volg, which is also like what's the difference between a Bardish and a Volg? And you're like, I don't know. One is French and one is Swiss, pretty much.
It's also a type of blade.
There's a blade, yeah.
I guess the Ransur.
Oh yeah, the good old Ransur.
The
There's a
Mancatcher
large
is one of the
variety
things.
of spiky things you can put on a long stick.
Yep.
Don't forget about the battle staff, which is just like a quarter staff, but we added spikes on each end.
I like the man catcher. Look that on someone.
The long axe, it's an axe, but it's long.
It's long. Long axe is long.
Which the long axe is one of those things of like, well, aren't there other like similar weapons for like, you know, that looks like pretty similar to that?
Yeah, again, what is the difference between a long axe and a Bardish? Like, do we need both of these? But I guess the Bardish is more like a heavier, more of a...
I think parties can be also like 200 or 100, depending on. I don't know.
Then there's a swallow, which is like,
Oh yeah.
stick a sword on each end of your quarter staff.
Yeah, seems dangerous.
It might be just similar kind of axes, but different areas of world.
The Bok the Corbin, which is like this, it's a corp hammer, like a raven hammer from like a raven's beak. You use that to like crack into heavy armor, like a can opener.
Yeah, it is goddamn deadly.
Oh yeah,
I have
it's,
seen
it's,
that.
it's a hideous weapon.
If you need armor open, you take the back of the copper.
Yeah.
Also, I just like for comparison at the bottom, they have pike to scale, pretty much.
Yeah.
Just like,
So give all your infantry and put in front.
what is a pike? A really long stick.
Yeah. Extra long.
Like, that's its only special feature, it's just really long.
Really long, that's a pike, yeah.
No swinging it around, no doing fancy maneuvers, you just big
Yep.
thrust.
You put it down. See this? You see the horses coming. You put it down on the ground. You brace it, and then you hope that the horse runs into it.
I mean, if they're in formation, they may not necessarily be able to necessarily swerve.
Nope. And especially if you have like 200 peasants with these, like all pointing for like a porcupine. But yes.
We got slightly distracted, but it works for our purpose.
You know, we're nerds. We like looking at weapons.
Mhm. But yeah, hope Howderman's okay.
hopefully.
That's had a rough time of it this past weeks, it seems.
Barely heard anything from him today before he had to jump off. So
Yeah, me neither. So, do we stop here or?
I think we'll stop here for the moment.
Okay.
Next time we'll pick up formally on. We'll pick up formally next time. Kind of quickly move through something. Well, I think you need the change of pace back to murdering orcs for a while.
Yeah, go back to some exploration, some adventuring out in the field. Do some violence. Maybe,
Exactly.
Maybe find a dungeon or something.
Your court needs some time to handle the political change that's just happened.
Yes.
They can deal with that while you're off murdering.
Yeah. Appoint Lord Zion the new regent. Move Reginald, whatever his name is. Well, send. Yeah.
Didn't the Duchess promise us 2 cousins helping us against the orcs?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I so want those 2 cousins to be just like 2 dudes with like swords.
It's 2 like really bratty nobles, and you're like,
Yeah. It's like that's not what I thought she implied.
As it
That
stands,
would
the
be
contract.
very funny.
It
As
would
it
be a
stands,
good
nowhere
troll.
in the contract did it specify the word dragon.
No. I know. If that happens, fair play to her. We should have double checked, I guess.
Yeah.
It was like a deal with the dragon.
Because expressly, you were writing the contract in the presence of people who didn't know she was part dragon, so you couldn't use the word dragon for it. Did you get played? We'll find out.
We'll find out. All right. I will stop the stream here. Thanks for watching. We will see you next week.
Yep.
There's no Abomination Vaults tomorrow because Malachi is traveling and Sareth is gone. So we'll skip tomorrow and pick that up next week.
Shock and horror.
Yeah. All right. See you then, folks. Bye.